A very pleasant morning to one and all present here. Myself, Dr. R.Thiruppathi, Associate Professor, PG and Research Department of Economics, Sri Sharda College for Women, Salem, Tamil Nadu. And today I have present my topic, Role of Agriculture in Indian Economic Development. Agriculture promotes the economic development of the country. And in the most of the developed countries like UK, USA, Russia, Germany, Japan and other countries demonstrate that agricultural development helps and smoothen the process of industrial development. In the most of the industrialized nation in the world were once predominantly in agriculture. In England, agricultural development precedes the industrial development, and this is the way for the industrial development and the fuller economic development it is possible to our country. And the first and foremost role of agriculture is the promotion of the agriculture or the economic progress to our economy by enlarging the more saving of the rural sector and making them available for the development of industries. Next, see the slide that it has been what is the main role of the agriculture in Indian economy. And agriculture it's providing the raw materials to industries, and agriculture it is importance in the international trade and foreign exchange earnings. And next is the contribution of agriculture in the share of the national income or the GDP. GDP is nothing but the gross domestic product. And agriculture it's provide the largest employment opportunities to the entire population to our economy. And next also the contribution to the capital formation. Capital formation it is one of the four factors of production, that is the land, labor, capital and organization. So the capital formation it is the very important contribution to the part of agriculture. And last one is providing the food surplus to the expanding population. And the next is agriculture in India. That is, what is the agriculture in India? What are the features? It is very important. That is the total geographical area, net zone area, gross cropped area, net irrigated area. It's agriculture. It's provide the food for the people and major crops is produced. And finally, the contribution to the export. Like that, it has been given the comparison before 2010 and after 2010. The total geographical area to our economy is 328 million hectares in before 2010, and after that or the recent years the total geographical area it has been reduced as 159.7 million hectares, and the net zone area in before 2010 is 142 million hectares, and now it has been reduced to the 139.9 million hectares. And the total gross cropped area before 2010 is 190.8 million hectares, and in recent years is 197.3 million hectares, and the net irrigated area is 56.9 million hectares, and now in recent years 71.6 million hectares. And the agriculture it provides the food for people. It's more than 1 billion in before 2010, but now in recent years agriculture it provides the food for the people. It's more than 10 billion to our economy, and the major crop it has been produced in agriculture it's more than the 51 crops, and totally the agriculture it's contributed the total export earning to our economy. Now it's a 19.69%. And next is the distinction between agriculture and industry. And agriculture it provides the food for the people of the country and also fodder for cattle. Industry on the other hand they produce the goods and the services with the coordination of the factors of production with a greater emphasis on the man and machinery with the specific technology. And it should be realized that man can live without industry but not without an agriculture. The basic requirements of living can be had from homemade products. Another important distinction is that industrial goods can be produced with agricultural goods, but agricultural commodities cannot be produced with industrial goods. And industry depends on agriculture for feeding the supply of labor force to the industry. In agriculture, the gestation period is very large and it depends on the agricultural commodity is produced. But in industry, the gestation period, it is depends only on the investment and the technology is used. And the nature will be the predominant in agriculture, while in industry, the part played by the nature, it will be very less significant to industry. And the law of diminishing returns will manifest quickly in agriculture. It depends on nature. While the industry, the law can be put off with the higher technology. And next also, in agriculture, the farmer will face a perfectly competitive market and as such, he will be only the price taker. But in industry, the producer will be producing for the monopoly market or the monopolistic market. So he will be the price maker of this product. And the final distinction between agriculture and industry is the management of the firm is very tough job than the management of factory. So the agriculture is the interactable. And next is the sum of the factors is contributed by agriculture towards economic development. And the first one is providing increased food supplies and raw material. In most of the underdeveloped countries, the rod of economic development will face increasing the demand for food and reduction in death rate will due to advancement of the medical sciences and a slow decline in birth rate would result in the population explosion. And the rate of growth of population will be increases that would lead to increasing the per capita income of the people due to the development programs and the income elasticity of the demand for the product will be higher. The annual rate of increasing the demand for food can be given in this following formula, that is D is equal to P plus Ng. That is D is equal to P plus Ng, that means where P and the G stands for the rate of growth of population and per capita income. When N stands for the income elasticity of the demand for the agricultural product. The next is earns foreign exchange. And in the initial years of the economic development of the country will promote the economic progress in the economy, and the agricultural sector it's produced more commodities to that industry. And the agricultural sector, if it is promoting the some of the improved machinery, improved capital goods and the capital goods including technology, and these have to be imported from the foreign countries. So at this stage agricultural sector will produce more and the surplus it's possible to the agricultural sector in the economy. So the agricultural sector, the export is increasing, will lead to increasing the export foreign exchange earning to our economy, to import of machinery for the economic development. And the next is provides market for the manufacturing goods. Agricultural sector, it helps economic growth by providing the market for the manufacturing goods to the industries, and increased agricultural production and productivity, that is leads to increased the income of the farmers, and increased the income of the farmers or to increase the facilities of transport in the economy, that would lead to increasing the farmers, the mobility of the farmers it has been increases. So the mobility of the farmers it has been increased in the rural sector, that would lead to increasing the various types of the manufacturing goods like the cloth, sugar, shoes, cycle, TV sets and mobile phones and others, etc. So the agricultural development it provides for the expanding market for expanding the market for the manufacturing goods in the economy. And the next is ensure supply of labor to industry. In most of the underdeveloped countries and developing countries, the population will be higher. So the agricultural sector will be the overcrowded to our economy, and due to the surplus labor force in the agricultural sector. and the surplus labor force is increases and agriculture sector without contributing by way of any production in the economy. That leads to the marginal productivity of agricultural labor will be zero. And the agricultural sector, it is not only provide the supply of raw material to the industries but also providing the economic progress to our economy. And the next is agricultural sector occupies a pivotal role in the economic development of the country. Both agriculture and industries are interdependent. And agricultural development, it promotes the industrial expansion and developed industries. In turn, help the agricultural sector by providing the larger and larger market and greater the income is possible to our country. And next also, the commercialization of agriculture will in turn promote the transport, warehousing, banking, insurance, trade and others, etc. And further, the industrial development will promote the agricultural development by providing the necessary agricultural inputs like fertilizer, machinery and pesticides and others, etc. In India, agriculture is the backbone of our economy, and nearly the 40% of the national income is derived from the agriculture and other allied occupation. The next is sources of livelihood of the majority. And in most of the population, it's nearly the 70% of the population, it is depends only on agriculture and other allied occupation. And the excessive dependence on agriculture and its allied occupation, the importance of national income is mainly of the agriculture. In recent years, it is decreasing trend to our economy. And according to the statistical outline of India in the year 2005 to 6, the national income or the sharing of the GDP by agriculture in the year 1950-51, it is only for the 59.2%. But in recent years, the share of the GDP in agricultural sector, it has been reduced to our economy. I have given to explain with reference to the other foreign countries, it has been share of GDP to that country. In Italy, if it is contributing the 3% of the share of GDP to that economy, and Germany and Japan, if it is contributed the only 1%, and China, if it has contributed the 15% of GDP to our economy, and then Nepal, if it is contributing the share of GDP to that country is 39%, and finally the Pakistan, if it is produced the share of GDP to that country is 25%. And the next is that provides largest employment. And see this slide, it is the employment in agriculture sector, it has been peaked in the year 2006. I have to given 1983 to up to recent year 2019, the agricultural sector employment opportunities is increasing in 1983 to up to the 2006. And after the 2006, the employment opportunities are also to be reduces. And agriculture, it's a provide the employment for more than 70% of the working population in our economy. On the other hand, the big industries, if it is provides the employment for just 10% of the working population. And next is the supply of raw material to agro industries. And girls, we have see the slide, the agricultural supplies, and it has been the 5 chains. That is farmer, first one is the farmer is cultivated, the farmer is produced, is go only for the agriculture and food industry and the processing industry. Next we go for the wholesaler or the distributors, and next we go for the retailer, and finally the product we go only for the consumer. And this is the way of the supply chain, the agriculture, it has been provided. And next is most of the Indian industries, that is our country, the most of the Indian industries, if it is depends only on increased the demand for agricultural raw material. The Indian industries like the cotton textile industry, jute industry, sugar industry, plantation industry, vanaspati oil industry, paper industry, all these big industries, it is depends only on the agricultural raw material. But the agriculture, it's not only provide raw material for the big industries, but also provide the raw material for the small and cottage industries also. So the small and cottage industries, it's like that the handloom weaving industry, and the coir making industry, and oil crushing industry, checkering making industry, and other industries are also dependent. All these are also to be known as the small and cottage industries. The small and cottage industries are also to be depends on agriculture. So the agriculture provide the raw materials. It's not only for the big industries but also provide for the small and cottage industries also. And the next is the transport system. It is depends on agriculture. And the entire transport system to our economy, it is depends only on the agriculture, because the bulk of their business it comes only from the movement of the agricultural commodities. So the agricultural commodities producing, it has been increasing. That is leads to the strengthening of the transport system to our country. And the next is the export sector. It is depends on agriculture. In the span of the international trade and foreign exchange earnings, the place of Indian agriculture, it is very significant, because the export of the agricultural goods, it's the export of agriculture, the number of product it has been exported. For example, the jute, sugar, jute, tea, oil seeds, spices, tobacco, millets, and others, etc. And these are also to be known as some of the product, if it is exported from foreign countries and our country, it will be earn more foreign exchange. And the next is supplies of the food for people and fodder for cattle. And it provides, that is agricultural sector in India, it provides the fodder for the people, agricultural sector, it provides the food for the people of the teeming million. And this sector, it has been provided the food for the livestock, and the livestock, the numbering about the 360 million. And the livestock, it provide the nutritious food also, and this nutritious food like the milk and milk products, and the eggs, meats, and others, etc. And all these products, if it is provided by the agricultural sector. And finally, and we are also conclude that and all the sectors of the economy in India, it is depends on agriculture. The prosperity of the country, it depends upon the prosperity of the farmers. And the importance of agricultural sector, the government at the center and state government have introduced many programs for strengthening in this sector. And what are the programs? It has been introduced by both the government. The one is the irrigation extension of the irrigation facilities, and other one is the HYVP program, IADP program, MCP program. That is HYVP, it is nothing but high yielding varieties program, and MCP, it is nothing but the multiple cropping program, and IADP program, it is nothing but the intensive agricultural district program. And all these and dry farming program are also introduced. All these program, it has been introduced to help the small farmers, and many agencies have been created. And the cooperative movement is also strengthened to make the rural program it's more effective. And that's all. And this are also to be known as the role of agriculture in Indian economic development. And thank you so much for your patient listening. I thank the management and Madam Principal for giving me this excellent opportunity. Thank you so much.